the bush in its entirety, not just trying to find dogs. We will certainly keep trying, but we've got this beautiful pair of Bateleur sitting in the tree right next to us, and they're posing so nicely it would have been wrong to not stop and show you some of these visuals. So that's the male we're looking at the moment. The female is slightly above him and off to the right, which we can tell there by looking at the wing bars. If you can see on the female, you can just see her rump there. You can see that white sort of towards the tips of the wings. The male has sort of the black base to the wings whilst they're sitting, and that is the female. And you can see that in flight. It's very easy to sex a Bateleur if it's flying, because the female has pretty much the entirety of her underwings is white, and then they have that sort of a trailing edge is black, which is normal for birds because that's the part of the feather which is taking the most punishment in terms of the air pressure and needs to be the best condition. And black is caused by the pigment of melanin, which is a very strong pigment. So you'll find a lot of birds' flight feathers at least are black because that makes them stronger and less susceptible to wear and tear. And normally the female is bigger. They were sitting next to each other when we arrived, and it was quite nice to actually see the slight difference in size, because in raptors always the female is larger. But sporting quite a mane this morning with that wind ruffling the back of the head. Look at that. It's like a headdress. But a spectacular bird with that red beak, or the red cere, and those red legs contrasting with the black feathers there. And this is the breeding pair. I'm not exactly sure where their nest is, but we see this pair quite regularly in this area. And we know they've got a nest somewhere. I think we probably do know where the nest is. I just can't remember it at the moment. And we have seen quite a few juveniles in the area as well. But they're becoming quite relaxed with our presence. I mean, we are sitting probably only about sort of 10 or 15 meters away from the tree that they're sitting in. Danny, thanks for the question. No, Bateleurs are not endangered. There are plenty of them around. They're a very successful raptor species out here. I don't honestly know what it is sort of considered in terms of the data list. I would think of least concern, but you never know, because a lot of birds of prey are threatened these days just because of habitat loss and other human problems. But certainly what I can tell you is that one of the most commonly seen raptors, certainly in this sort of whole Kruger area, it's rare to go a day. Oh, a bit of a yawn. It's rare to go a day without seeing Bateleurs, that's for sure. And we see lots and lots of juveniles, which have the much more sort of brownish colour, and then that almost sort of bluey green cere instead of the rich red that you can see there, even if the colours are a bit muted by the overcast conditions this morning. And yeah, so it's pretty much, if you're going to go and do a birding day like we did yesterday, one of the first things you'd expect to see, especially if you see them on a warm morning when the birds are catching the thermals. It's very, very common to see the Bateleurs. But right, it seems like despite my failure in finding these dogs again, it sounds like somebody else may have dogs for us. So let's quickly shoot through to Pridelands.